Hey friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Southern Yankee Beauty. Today I am going to be creating this green eye look with the new Nouveau palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. We're going to talk first about the details, then I'm going to show you some swatches, and then before you see this look, we actually do 3 looks in this video. We're going to do a fun spring pop of purple look. We're going to do more of a spotlight look, and then we're going to finish with this. So you're going to get a real good sense, I think, of if you like this color story and if you would like to purchase it. I think this will be a good video for you to help make that decision. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you is the palette is different than previous palettes. I do have one of her Jackie Aina palettes here. So size-wise, okay, it's a little smaller, as you can see. And it's a little thinner and smaller, but that's not the only difference. The price has changed. This smaller palette is now $55 where these were $45. So the palettes went up by $10. That's an inflation rate of around 22%. That's a lot. I will say there are some, you do get more product, even though you're getting a smaller palette and less pans as well, you're getting more product. So let me show you her regular palettes. This is 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So there's 14 shades in here, and it had came with a brush and a mirror, and that was the normal ABH palettes. I don't have a lot of ABH palettes. This might be my only other one. There might be one more. So that's the first thing. You're getting 14 different shades. You can see this is a very well-loved palette. I've really, really enjoyed it. So putting this one up next to it, okay, so you can see that the pan sizes are bigger, but you get less. So you're actually getting 12 pans here versus 14 here. So I'm curious for you guys, like, I want to hear your opinions on this. Would you rather get more shades and smaller pans, or get bigger more product and less pans? I'm just curious. I think for me personally, well, I love this size. I love both of these palettes a lot, but I will tell you that I like the variety of the color selection. I would prefer to have 2 more pans and smaller shades, because who gets through their palettes? You never really like finish an eyeshadow palette, you know, so by the time it expires. So the other big difference here is these other palettes had an 18-month shelf life. This one only has a 12-month shelf life. So that tells me, and the shadows are made in Italy, but that tells me that there might be a formula change here going on, that they might have switched up their formulas. I like this formula. I will tell you that I feel like quality-wise, this palette seems to be a step above. Now, I love this palette so much. This is my all-time favorite. I mean, it made it in my top of the year last year. I really love this palette, and I don't think it got even the packaging is stunning. This was the Jackie Aina one. So I really like this palette, but I'm curious if you think that the changes of, you don't get to keep your palette as long. It's a 12-month. You get 2 less shades in here. You're not getting the brush in here. But at the same time, everybody's really excited about this palette. Everybody is loving this palette and saying that this is a new formula, that it's stars and moon above all the other palettes. I don't know, because I only have this ABH palette to compare it to, so I don't have the early palettes from ABH to know. So I'm curious, if you have this and you have other palettes, please let me know if you think that the quality is different and improved in this palette. All right, so there are 3 shades in here that are not, let me show you that, considered eye safe. That is Wisteria, Metro, and I think it was, might be Peacock. Paloma. This white shade is also not eye safe. I don't know. I will tell you that that's typically due to staining, because it'd stain your eyelids. I didn't have any problem. I did 2 looks with pretty dark shades, and I did not have any staining. Now, I'll let you know after I get this off, but I wore some of these shades in another look that didn't film, and I didn't have staining with it, so I don't suspect that I'll have staining with it. What I also like is this has this dark chocolate shade, which they're calling a metallic, but it's more of a satin, and being that it's this consistency that it is, it's a beautiful shade for deepening the eye, and you can use it as a transition shade. You can use this shade almost as a matte because of how smooth it is, and you get a sheen, but it's not like that metallic in your face. It's a beautiful shade to have in this formula. And then this shade here, we don't really play with this shade enough. This is the shade Lily, and we're gonna need to play more. This is probably one of the most sparkliest shades in the bunch. Look at that. No filter. That's just the way it is. Looks like there's some leftover glitter on my hand though from another swatch party, but look at that. So I definitely want to play with Lily a little bit more. Let's finish going ahead and swatching. I do want to tell you first a few channels that I have watched that have reviews out on this if you'd like to see additional looks. Obviously, guys, I'm not a makeup artist in any way. I'm just an average Joe doing makeup on here and having fun playing. But some of the ladies are just like me that I'm going to mention, and some actually are makeup artists. So check out Morgan Turner. Morgan has a review up on this. Also, Kinky Sweat. She also has reviews, and I think she does multiple looks with it as well, so you'll get to see bunches with her. And then Patty Alonso. Patty has a video up with this. And then I just saw a really neat look with Jenna Fraze. She also has a really cool look, and for her that was such a different look. I haven't seen her do a look like that. I feel like she does more like everyday makeup, and she did a pretty smoky eye look with this palette that was pretty nice. So all right, so let's go in. Let's do Wings, Isle, Belle, and Wisteria. Okay. All right, so this first one is Wings. I did them out of order. This is the beautiful green shade, and I actually have descriptions for you guys here. A metallic silver green. Okay, we're out of order because of Lily there, but all right, next we have Isle. And this is such a unique shade. This is described as a metallic blonde gold. I love that. I love a blonde gold. And I don't know if you guys are picking up on this color story just with looking at these here, but are you sort of seeing that it is retro? Do you remember the mini retro palette with Natasha Denona that everybody wanted? Everybody was hoping Natasha would come out with the large version of the retro palette, and then when it came out, it wasn't what we were hoping for. I'll put a picture of the mini retro up here and some swatches. And this palette, to me, this Nouveau palette, looks like ABH capitalized on what we had hoped Natasha Denona was going to launch but didn't, because there was such a buzz after it came out. Everybody was unhappy. Granted, everybody ended up loving the palette she did release, but it wasn't what we had hoped for with the retro palette. I feel like ABH heard loud and clear what Natasha Denona fans were wanting, and she created it in this palette, and I feel like this is a perfect companion to that mini retro. All right, moving on. Belle. Belle is a metallic antique bronze. So up here you have your blonde gold and now antique bronze. And it sure is, and it's beautiful. And then Wisteria is pastel lavender. It's matte and it has sparkle, although that doesn't really show up on the eye. But there is Wisteria. Okay. Let me clean my fingers, friends, and then we're going to go into the next set. We have Lily. Okay, so Lily I've already put up here. Lily is a metallic rose gold with multi-dimensional reflex. So that is Lily. Let me turn at the corner page over here. So now we're going to go to Hope, and Hope is described as a metallic olive green with gold reflex. This is Hope, which we used today. That's really pretty. Okay. Then we have Paloma. This is what we used for our just our blending out shade, inner corner, upper lid. This is described as a matte creamy ivory with sparkling reflex. Again, I don't see any sparkle, but you know, who knows? We'll see. Then we have Fleur, which is a matte golden peach. And I like this shade a lot. Okay. Then we have the color Liberty, which is a matte muted hunter green. That's what we used as our base shade today in this last look. Gorgeous, and it's really a beautiful shade. Then we have Peacock, which we did in one of the looks all over the eyes. This is a duochrome bluish green brown with pink reflex. You can kind of see the red and the blue and green there. And then finally, oh no, there's two more, sorry. Then we have Metro. Metro is considered a matte rich clay color, and that's really a perfect description of it. And then the final shade is Muse, which we'll do below my bracelet. And this one is described as a metallic dark chocolate brown. Now, it is for sure a dark chocolate. Metallic, it's more, let me just get it on here better. It's more of a satin. You see that? You can see the shine in it, but it's more of a satin, which is why you can use it so many ways. So friends, there are our 12 beautiful shades from the ABH NOUVEAUE palette. They swatch beautifully and they work well on the eyes. Now I'm going to keep those swatches on because in a minute I'm going to show you guys a few comparisons just to see, are they really comparisons? But before we get into the comparisons, let's go ahead and get into the next 3 looks, and then I'll meet you back at the end for comparisons. Good morning. I have a couple of kitty friends behind me. We have Baby Arrow and Baby Gizzy. So let's start playing with this new Anastasia Nouveau palette. It's got a pretty olive coloring to it. Like a tweed packaging. We'll talk more about packaging in the intro and all that. But right now I'm just going to get into some looks for you. This, you would have probably already seen swatches. So let's just get started with a basic little look here. I'll tell you what colors I'm using. All right, we're going to start with the fluffy. And we're going to go in. We're going to start with Wisteria right here. And we're going to... I don't know how much this is going to last, this light. I had it plugged in, but not very long. So we're going to just put that Run Wisteria through the crease. This is one of the colors that's not considered eye safe. What a beautiful shade, though. What a pretty color for summer. Beautiful, like lavender. And it blends really nice. There's a lot of pigment in this little shade for a pastel, like more than you expect. I'm just going to lay it all over the lid. All right. Well, isn't that beautiful? All right, so now I'm going to go in with Peacock all over the lid. And Peacock is a duochrome right here. And we're going to bring you pretty ladies in. And duochrome does have a little bit of fallout. It's a little bit of a messier shade, just so you know. But it's a beautiful shade. And with this, and paired with this lavender color, so pretty, which I'm going to come back in with and refine those edges. But you can see the beautiful duochrome shifting in it. Let's go back in using the purple Wisteria shade and go over the lines of Peacock right here and just sort of blend that duochrome in. Now that did darken, that caused the Wisteria shade to darken a little bit, but that's fine because that also gave me a really pretty blend. All right, so for the bottom lid, let's go in with Liberty here on the bottom and run that down here. And I can see I do have some fallout here from that peacock shade, which I'm going to go over that shade we just did with peacock to mirror the top. I just wanted to give it a little something to stick to. And then I'm going to come in with Wisteria on this inner half here and bring it up to peacock, just like that. But that ain't gonna be it. We want to put a little bit of a bling right there in our corner. So we'll go in with Lily, which is right here, which will bring a little bit more warmth in. I'm going to go in using a Morphe M149, which is a little pencil brush. And we're going to just pat that little rose gold shade with a lot of sparkle right there. Yep, just like that. That's pretty. See right there, I need to get a brush because I knew I had some fallout, and that was a dark shade of fallout right there. So, all right, now I'm just going to take the same color with Paloma, the same brush, and just lightly tap that right up in here. This is sort of that nude skin tone shade, and just give your eyebrows a little bit of a lift. My eyebrows are wonky today. All right, so there's the first look. I'm going to just put some basic liner and lashes on it, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, here is our first look, and I love it. I love that this is more of a green palette, but you can get this gorgeous, smoky, dark, mysterious eye look with it. So we have that beautiful duochrome on the lid, which looks more duochrome in person. It has hints of like red and stuff and green in it, and it's really pretty, paired with that beautiful wisteria shade. I pulled it up a little bit with the liner. I just have a brown Aurora liner on it and I think it was a Sephora, just a little crayon pencil. So that is really pretty. So now we're gonna lighten the look up a little bit and go and start another look. And we're gonna start with the color Fleur to give us a nice base. Let's just go in and put this shade, let me bring you in. My eye's a little red, sorry guys, I'm not sure. Well, you know what, it might be my weed gummy. It might be bloodshot. I had taken one to calm down a little bit. I was feeling a little bit stressed out. I think this brush may not have been clean. It looks like it had something else on it. But like up there, it looks like it might have had something on it. Thought I cleaned it off. This color, Fleur, is making a little mess in the pan. It's mixing with my beautiful Paloma shade. I'll show you what's happening right there, which is not a big deal. I was able to just blow that off. And speaking of Paloma, let's go right into the Paloma shade and get our top going here. Make sure I clean that up. I really like this look. I think that came out so beautiful. I'm very, very happy with that look. That was like I was watching somebody else's video and they were swatching. Sometimes that's what swatches help me with. I'll see like colors swatched next to each other and I'm like, ooh, that color and that color, you know, like, so that's a good reason to do swatches because you can see, you almost see it in different light, see it, and it's just pretty. So there. All right, now we're going to go into a little bit of a deeper shade, same color family. This is Metro. Metro is also considered not to be eye safe. Usually that's just due to FDA hasn't approved them for safe for the eyes because the pigments can cause staining. So that is usually why. Most of us don't care if we have a little bit of staining. We're just gonna put, you know, concealer, primer, or something over it and cover it up anyway. So it's not that big of a deal, you know. I will say so far, every color that we have used is really blending beautifully and is extremely pigmented. And I'm really super excited about it. Okay, I'm going to go in with Muse, which is a dark chocolate brown. They said it's a metallic. However, upon swatching it, it is a metallic, but it's so fine. It's kind of like, almost like a satin, kind of just looks almost satiny on the skin. And because of that, I just made a little mess. But because of that, you can use this almost like a matte. So you can see I have a huge mistake. I'm just going to wipe it away. I already did my face makeup, so it was probably not the smartest thing. So much for going light. We're going dark. All right, I'm going to put the same dark, we'll do a little spotlight with this one in here. But yeah, you can use this shade kind of like a matte. You can use it in your, you know, outer corner. You can transition. This has really made a bit of a mess. I thought I brought a, maybe I didn't. I thought I brought a thing out here. I'm going to go get something to clean that up. I'll be right back. Okay, this is something you can do. Just take a baby wipe and wipe straight up. Okay, so going back in with a little brush, I'm going to go into that first shade, Floor, and just get a little bit more of that shade right up in here, because I just think I just wiped a little bit of it off. So just get that nice and blended in, and we'll pop something in the middle. And you can still, I'm going in with the lighter shade, Paloma, sticking that right up in there and back in here. Okay, I'm liking how that's looking. All right, so a couple of the shades we can go in. We can do Lily. No, I'm sorry, this is Isle or Lily. Lily has a lot of sparkle. You can see it there, and we only used it there, so maybe we'll use that one. I think that's going to have a lot more sparkle than Isle. Okay. So this one is Lily, and you almost got green reflex in there, which I love. And then this one is Lyle. Let's just swatch these guys. They're both beautiful, aren't they? That's almost got like a, that's that blonde gold color. And actually, let's lighten it up. Let's do this one. Let's go in with that shade Isle. I don't know if I brought a flat brush out here. I could probably use this one, but we'll try this. But I might have to go in and get a different type of brush to do this. We'll see. Oh, that's beautiful. A blonde bronze or gold. I mean, that's definitely different. Really pretty. Really pretty. All right, going to the same brush, going in with the darker shade Muse again, and just sort of tightening up the outer corner and get it nice and dark. We'll do the same thing in here. Blend that in. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. All right, so for the bottom, let's do Metro on the bottom. We could have matched, like done dark, dark, and light. I'm trying to use as many shades as I can to give you guys a really good sense of some different looks and things you can do. I'm going to take Muse on the outside here. And I guess we'll take it here too. Just give it a little bit of a matchy-matchy. Got it right in my eye. Did you see that? And then Isle right in the middle, just a touch of Isle. All right, I'll be right back with liner and lashes. Okay, and we are done with eye look number 2. I actually really like this as well, but I can't get away from this look. I love this. I love this with that pop of purple. All right, guys, you let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to come in. Which eye look here out of the first 2 is your fave? I want to know which one you like better and why you chose the one you chose. That's fun because these are 2 completely, totally different looks that you can get from this palette, and I mean, just gives you a little versatility there. Okay, guys, so now I really think we should go into some of the green. That's what's getting all the love and attention, is that it's green. So let's get into some of the greens. I'm going to clean these beautiful colors that we just put on our eye as best I can without disturbing all the rest of my makeup, which is going to be hard because, like a dummy, I started with the darkest shades first, and I should have done light shades first. So I'm going to go carefully, as careful as I can, get this off, but as you can see, I'll be redoing my makeup. So I will be right back, and we'll do our final look. Okay, all cleaned up. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So now we're going to do our final look, my friends, using some of the green shades. I'm so excited. To start with that, we're going to start with this shade here, which is like an olive. And that's called Liberty. We're going to go in and lay that shade down as our transition shade in our outer corner. A lot of green shades in here. I'm excited. And there's like very depth levels of green in here. There's a really beautiful lighter green, and that's going to be our superstar shade. But let's get going, and this will be the one that I wear for the rest of the day. So we better hope we like it. And I used the Jaclyn Hill primer that she came out with her Mother's Day stuff. I really love that primer. Well, that is a beautiful neutral shade. I'm really liking what that's doing on the lid. Yeah, just the light changed. It looks like it's going to rain out there. So I was going to go out there, and I have some things I was going to garden and do that later on today, but when it was cool down, but it's raining, so might not happen. Did I just grab the wrong shade? I think I did. What is this? Is it me, or does that look like it's shiny? I'm gonna keep going. It does not look like the same shade. Maybe I just, oh, maybe it is. Maybe I just put too much in one spot. I don't know. But it looks like it's a different shade, doesn't it? It looked like it was like more green. Looks like a different shade, but it doesn't look like I used anything else. I think I just, yeah, that's the same shade. I just put so much down. So I put so much down on this side that this side looks, I like this side better, but it doesn't match. I feel like I put something else down here on this other one, but I'm not sure what color it was. Like I accidentally dipped into something else. I don't know. All right, let's go to the top with Paloma. Let's get our creamy shade in there and get these edges clean right up at the get-go. Give us a really nice blend. I like how that looks together. I did that really heavy because the goal was to really, that was on purpose, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to go back in with that same brush, no additional product, and just keep blending. I think that it's the lighting that's making these two shades look different. I bet you natural light, they probably look exactly the same. It's just that this side of the room is really dark, and this side of the room there's doors. So I think that's why we're seeing the varied shade difference. Although this one, I like how this one looks like more blown out than this one. Well, they're probably pretty close to the same. Okay, so now let's see. We've got Hope, Wings. Let's go in with Hope as our like outer corner one right here. This is like a green gold. I would have liked, it's like an antique green gold. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit of a different shade here with the green. I don't mind a gold, but I think I would have liked to have seen something. I mean, here you can see it looks, here you're seeing the green, I think, on the monitor. This looks really nice. The other eye was showing more the gold shade. But like, I really kind of like a good emerald, and I feel like there's not many people that can do a good emerald shade, and that's what I'd like to see in a palette. Like the most amazing emerald shade is what I'd like. I'm pushing those sparkles right up in the crease. All right, so in going with, I'm going to just wipe this off here, going with Wings, which is a much lighter and beautiful shade. I'm going to put that right over the shade that we just did. I'm going to put this pretty heavy because this is such a shade that I just am in love with, right over that initial shade. So I want this to be like the star of this look. So pulling that up into the crease and all the way over. So now we just have a little bit of that shade there, which I'm probably gonna deepen up with Peacock as well. But first, let's finish up with Wings and getting this beauty all over the lid. It's so pretty. So pretty, isn't it? Oh, love it. All right, so now I am going to take a little bit of Peacock right here, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner just to give us a little bit more definition, because these two greens are different tones, but when you put them together, they kind of just blend. You can't really, in my opinion, you can't see much of a difference between them. So we need a little bit more depth out here. I'm actually having to go in with Muse. That wasn't dark enough. So I'm going into the brown shade, and we're going to darken it up with the brown Muse shade. Just a little bit. I just want that flip when you look at the eye. I want you to be able to see this beautiful light and then move it right into dark. And we're going to blend that a little better. Okay, so we're going to go in with Peacock because that's what we did here, and then I'll add Muse on top of it because the Peacock did add some depth, but not enough. But it also brings in another shade of green, so I do want to keep that in there. And back into the brown shade, Muse. And Muse I'm just staying low with, and this little V right here. Right here. Blend those edges, blend those edges. Beautiful. That's pretty. That's what I wanted it to do. All right, so now I'm going to go in with Liberty underneath the eye. I still have some like inner liner of the black when I washed my face, so you're still going to see that, but it's fine because I was going to do the same thing and put it on over anyway. Okay, we're going to go in with Wings, which is our lighter shade, right in our inner corner here and down onto the bottom. Yep, looking good. Looking really pretty. And back into Muse, just a little bit on the outside edge, just to darken that even more. Okay, I'll be right back with liner and lashes. Okay, friends, there we are. We have our finished third eye look, the one that I'll be wearing all day. It's quite pretty, very, very nice. On my lips, I have the Colourpop. This is their, I don't know, like lip balm in this like orange shade. I got these in a bunch of colors, and I really like this orange shade. And then I have I Am Confident in the Realher. It's like a darker liner. I liked the contrast between the lighter shade and the darker shade with this look. Yeah, I really like that. And then a little bit of the Fenty Beauty in the color Fenty Glow Fantasy, which is beautiful orange as well. And it really makes your lips juicy and full looking. All right, and so here's our pretty eye look. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful shades. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I also have some comparisons to see if there's any dupes of these shades. I found a few. I didn't like look real hard though, to be completely transparent, but we'll do that next, and then I will see you after. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you did. Let me know if you picked it up, and if there's anybody's video that you watch that you're like, you need to see their look that they created with this palette, please tag me below or let me know below so I can check their videos out as well. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Welcome back, my friends. I hope you enjoyed seeing those three eye looks. I wanted to come back and show you some comparisons. Just, do we have any of these shades? Let's go ahead and start with what we have in the Jackie Aina palette. So, looking at our peacock shade here, there is a duochrome shade in here that I've used a lot that I really like right here, and it's called Sponsored. So let's take a look at that. And let's swatch it next to Peacock. Peacock is right here. My bracelet's going to be in the way. How can I park? All right, already you can see it's very different. So it does have a red base. This is the one from the new palette. This is the one from Jackie Aina. So this one has more blue, like blue purple. This one has a red base, but it's got more green in it. So, but that being said, they're very close. It's just the reflex are different. Blue green, this is more green gold. Okay, so that's close though. That's a close one. Let's see if there's anything else in here. How about Soleil and Zam next to Isle or Lily? Let's see what Zam looks like next to Lily. This is Zam. All right. It's got a little bit more of like a bronzy orange in it, I would say, than Lily, but close and a lot of great sparkle. And then let's do Soleil also next to Lily. Okay, Soleil is the one I wanted to try next to the blonde gold. So let's do, we have right here, this is the blonde gold shade in the new palette Isle, and then this is Soleil. So let's just do it right here. Okay, so those are different. All right, those are different. So this is the one from the new palette. This is the one from Jackie Aina palette. And then there's Ginger and Edges that could go up next to Metro. So again, here is Metro. And then you have Ginger. And you have Edges. Ooh, Edges is closer. But they're still different. They're all a little different. But this one and this one are pretty close. So there are some, I guess, potential dupes. Now let's look at Belle, which was like the antique gold in here. Plus Dwalas in Jackie Aina. Ooh, yep. So this one's a little richer, and it's got a little bit more brown. This has a little bit more gold. But again, very close. So, I mean, you could make the argument that you've got some pretty good ones in here. Now you have this dark Muse in here, right here. And then you also in here have Lituation, which is a metallic, but more of a taupey shade. Yeah, so those are kind of, those are different. That's not nowhere near as dark as, but we definitely have some similar shades in here. There's no purple, there's dark purples in this palette, but I think that's it for the Jackie Aina. So, but then we have, I'm going to use this arm, I think, now. Then we have some greens here. So let me swatch the green shades here. So this is Olive Me. Then we have Olive You. And there's a Olive Glow. These are the three green shades. Let me tell you what palette. There's nothing that matches that shade, I don't think. All right, this is the Violet Voss Olive You Forever palette. So let's get our green shades. We have Hope, which I'm thinking might match this one up top. Okay, so Hope is on top, but kind of similar. This one has more yellow or something in it, and it's shinier than this one, but it's not too far off. We have Wings, which might match this one. Nope, it's in its own category, our Wings. And then we also have, well, we have this Hunter Green, which there's no mattes, it's the only matte. And then Peacock shade right here, which is not even close. Okay, so that's really all that we had looking at this one, except there is Endless Desire and Infatuated, which could look a little like Metro. So here is Endless Desire, here is Infatuated, and here is Metro. Okay, so this is Metro here, and these are the other two shades. So those are close as well. So there's some in here that match. Then we have Wild Nothings, and I was really curious about the shade Seashells to see if it matches that really beautiful light green up here. So we'll put it right above this one. Well, those are a little closer now, aren't they? Let me get this one a little bit more too. So the Colourpop one on the top is green with a little more cream in it. The one from ABH, the color Wings, it has a little bit more of the actual sage green. So they are different. So that was my concern with that one. There is no Bounds here, which is a real dark shade. But I don't think it's going to be, oh yeah, that's not even close to the dark shade that we had Muse, so it's not even close. All right, so that's it in that one. There also were some greens in this palette, not many. There's Eye Candy, and I'm just going to go right in at the top with Eye Candy. Oops. That's Eye Candy, so that doesn't really look like anything. This is from a different palette, the one that's closest to. All right, so nothing there. Let me just do Crush on You. I wonder if Crush on You and Belle are similar. Let's try. This is from a different palette. This is from the Sydney Grace palette. And then you have this Belle shade. That was a lot darker swatch than I thought. No, not close at all. And then, of course, you've got Muse, but those are actually closer. Muse, and then this one. All right, so that's really it there. No purple in that, but there is a purple. I want to test out her. This is the Sydney Grace and Mel Tiny Marvels palette, and there is Jewel Bee here. And I want to check Jewel Bee out against the Wisteria shade. All right, this already I can tell you, this one from Mel's palette is not as pigmented. I'm really having to go over it. It's like a traditional pastel, very pretty. Color might be the same, but I already know that ABH is going to be more pigmented because I've used it, yeah. So, and it's a little bit of different shades. You can see this one has a little bit more of a like lavender purple. This is a little bit more like a lilac. All right, well, that is all of the potential comparisons that I have for you, friends. So I hope that that was helpful to figure out, like, do you have some of these? Can you recreate some of these looks without having to go out and buy the palette? Or are these shades unique enough for you to spend your money on? And what do you think about the changes in the size of the palettes? How many colors, you know, pans you're getting? How many grams? You are getting less shades, but you're getting more of the more product. So it's kind of an interesting thing. You're also losing 6 months for your wear time before it expires. So I'm just really curious to know your thoughts about this palette, and I do think the color story is very retro, very pretty, very much what we had hoped Natasha Denona would do with her retro palette, although she knows what she's doing, because the next palette that came out, it was a doozy, and it was it's a beautiful everyday palette that people just loved. But we wanted to see something like the mini retro, and this is like the big palette to the mini retro. And I have the mini retro and I couldn't find it. I couldn't grab it, put my hands on it quick enough so I could put it up, but I can guarantee you those shades will work really, really well with this palette. So yeah, I'm very excited about this palette. I do think that I'm going to get quite a bit of use out of it. I think it is a more upscale or higher end quality shadows here. I think also going into the fall, I think this is like such a pretty kind of transition from winter to spring, and then also from summer to winter, or summer to fall. These shades are going to be so, so beautiful. So I think that we are going to use it a bit. If you want to see any more looks, there's certainly more looks we can do with this. Let me know. I do have other palettes that I'm in the process of reviewing, including the small Pat McGrath one that she came out, the mini she came out with. I have a couple more fun palettes from Colourpop as well. So it might be a little bit before I come back around to this one, but if you want me to, I will. Or if there's another palette you're more interested in seeing additional looks with, let me know, because we will definitely shop our stash. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.